what made you decide? Because I wouldn't say you're an extrovert by any means.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be the guy who would pick out in the room and be like, that guy is going to talk to everyone. What made you decide, hey, I'm going to get uncomfortable. I'm going to go to, like, when you hear James Dixon speak, talk about a captivating speaker. I mean, you just feel his energy. You connect with his message. I'm going to go to that guy and I'm going to have that guy be my coach. How come you decided to get so uncomfortable? What is it about your message that you have to get out to the world?
Like I said, I knew I felt like I had something to say. I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know what that even meant. But I knew that there was a message within all of the stories, within everything I've done in life, whether in the military and business or even as an entrepreneur, that could help people. And me keeping that in, when I realized that me sharing that was so impactful, the idea of me keeping that in became selfish. Because then I'm really just keeping that in because I'm self-conscious. I don't like speaking. I'm afraid of what your criticism would be. But instead, someone like James, when he goes out and speaks, his focus is on how can I help these people right now? How can I impact these people right in front of me? That has been my goal, whether I was in charge of a 4-man fire team or a $24 million company. Like, I wanted to make sure that I impacted the person. And the best way I know how to do that right now is to share and to speak.
Holy smoke. So basically you're saying that if you didn't start speaking and writing a book and doing these types of things, it would have been about you and not actually about making a difference in other people's lives.
Exactly. Because I had to change. I wanted to make an impact, but I wasn't willing to be open, so there was a disconnect.
Yeah.
I want this to happen. I have to be willing to do all of these things to make that happen. And so I went into the dark. I went to work. I started recording things. I would put a camera in front of me and I would record videos trying to tell stories until I got it down to a point that my wife and James were like, yeah, like you're actually starting to step into the light, as I call it, where, you're really letting go of all of those worries of, oh, this is going to be judged, or like this is going to hit negative criticism. Instead, I'm like, okay, how can I now impact this person in front of me? And it's just by pouring out.
Has it made you a better husband and father?
Yes, 100%.
I love it. Okay. 100%. Okay. The smile was hilarious. How come like you went into automatic? Like, what is it that's changed?
Because and we do this with everything. Not just as a husband and father, but just out in the world, we as people were reserved because we're worried that we're going to hit negative criticism. We're worried someone's going to say no. And it's no different at home. Like, you don't want to look silly or you don't want to look stupid. When you let that stuff go, like when you let those ideas go and that worry of negative feedback go, it allows you to really connect in different ways. And so I was never a great communicator. And so something I needed to work on through this was being a better communicator, being more open and vulnerable to my wife and sharing feelings. One of the best things I learned a couple months ago from a friend of mine, he said, write down every single day a letter to your wife. And it's going to force you not only to pay better attention, but to also like really pour yourself out and be more vulnerable, be less guarded. And so I started doing that. And there's days I miss, sure, but it allows me to have better communication because I'm vulnerable. And it's the same thing with my kids. I'm not worried about doing something stupid or looking stupid. I'll tell you like something people don't know about me. I love singing. Like, my mom had a great singing voice that she gifted to both me and my sister. And I love singing with my kids, and I'll sing to my wife now. And those are things that I wouldn't do before because it would make me nervous, make me self-conscious. I'm not going to sing for you, so don't ask for it. But now my girls start singing.
How dare, that is, no, Dre, this is not going to work. This is unacceptable. When you throw that down and I'm about to sing one verse, no, you threw it down.
But that's something I get to share with them now.
Holy smokes.
But it's because I stopped worrying.
Yeah.
And I got to just be me completely.
What was it? Do you remember that point where you're like, dude, my imposter syndrome just doesn't, like, I get it. It's the funniest thing, man. Like when it comes to this, I can do this without thinking. When it comes to lending, it's like that. It's like you get it and you get into your own head and it's all in your head.
It is.
It's all in your fucking head. It's crazy to me.
That's the thing that holds everybody back. That's the thing that stops everyone from really getting to where they want to go or where they say they want to go is all those conversations in your head.
How did you go through that process for yourself? Like, you know, with that public speaking, because you had those conversations happening. How did you work through it? What were you doing?
I was writing. So I was in the middle of writing the book. Writing the book really helped me because it pulled all these stories out that I had buried. Like everyone's got a past. Everyone's went through different, levels of adversity, and we tend to bury those down. And this really forced me to be open. Mm-hmm. So like, I'll tell you, there's several chapters in there that took all of me. It took every ounce of me to write about when my wife and I had a miscarriage, when I had trouble, coming back from a deployment, to properly write how I met my wife. Like those things took every ounce of me, but doing that and pulling that out of me really allowed me to speak better because I already did it. I already wrote it down. Instead of having it buried away, I already kind of forced it out of me. And now it was just time to really practice and learn how to communicate verbally.
How have the girls reacted? Like, have they noticed a change? Do you get, like, did they talk about a difference?
I mean, it's tough. My girls are 3 and 2.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I see now is when we're watching a movie and there's a song that comes on, they'll start singing. And it makes me so happy.
I love it. If you enjoyed what you saw, like, share, comment, and forward to someone that this will bring value to. Thank you so much for all the support. We appreciate it.